What's up? It's Cal. I am here in a neighborhood in Burlington, Washington. What am I doing here, you ask? I am 6 miles away from starting my what is now going to be a flip-flop through hike of the Pacific Northwest Trail. A little background on this, if you're new, I am hiking the Great Western Loop this year, which is a 7,000 plus mile loop that includes the Pacific Crest Trail, the Continental Divide Trail, the Pacific Northwest Trail, and sections of the Arizona Trail and the Grand Enchantment Trail, as well as a couple other connecting trails in the Southwest to create a big loop. So I have completed the CDT, the PCT, and some of the southern section, and I am off now to complete the northern connector, which is the PNT. Only 600 miles approximately of the PNT, of the 1,200 mile PNT are included in the loop, but because I love extra credit, any of my former teachers can tell you that, I'm actually going to do the whole thing this year, all 1,200 miles of it, weather permitting.
Taco Bell all over my face.
So I am doing at least part of the PNT with my partner Jack, and of course Truman, as always. Truman will always be here. So this is Jack's first long distance backpacking trip, right?
Yes.
What's the longest you've ever walked before in your life?
I'm not going to disclose that because it's very embarrassing.
Well, by tomorrow it's probably going to be at least 15, and the day after that it'll be 20. So we'll ask you again tomorrow.
Amazing.
Jack, where are you from?
I'm from Texas.
And tell the people any other important identifying information about you.
I'm a person.
What's your social security number?
I got a face, a couple of eyes.
There it is.
These. Let's see what else. I think that's basically, that pretty much gets, is Taco. I've got Taco Bell in my hands. I'm a happy boy.
Not for long. Ah! So if you were following along with the PCT, you know that me and my tramily finished at the Canadian border on August 9th. We spent a couple of days at Lion's Den Raven Roost Hostel in Mazama, Washington, which if you ever have the opportunity to go to, I highly recommend it. Lion is the best trail angel that I've ever met, and it's like my favorite hostel of the whole Triple Crown. And I'm so glad because it is also a PNT hostel, so I'll be able to stay there again once Jack and I get to the Cascades. So Jack and I were actually gonna go eastbound on the PNT, but transportation just kind of like made it so that it was easier to start at mile about 300 miles from the coast. So we are going to do 300 miles starting in Edison. We're in Burlington right now, so we'll do 300 miles heading west, starting in Edison today on August 18th. And then once we hit the Pacific Ocean, we are gonna head back to mile 300 and walk east to Glacier. Jack's gonna come as far as he can, and then I'm gonna finish off the trail in Glacier. It should take between 1 and 2 months, and we're super duper stoked for this new chapter of this journey and chapter of the loop. Good morning. It is our first full day on trail. We're sitting on this bench along this marshy area. There's a nice bike path that we've been walking. That is the trail. I looked at the elevation map and it is flat as a pancake Today we're trying to make it to Anacortes, which is another town on the other side of the bay. And pretty much this section, it's developed enough, it seems from the map, that we can sort of jump RV park to RV park, which is nice to just like have some amenities. And it's also a great way to start a through hike because it's just like easier, you know? So what did we do last night? Last night we made it here.
We made it.
Made it on trail.
We made it. We sat by a nice little river, lake, the Puget Sound.
We think this is what that is.
I don't know.
There's a bunch of islands.
We saw the beautiful shell refineries.
There are some refineries across the way.
They're beautiful. That's where we take all of our dino juice and we make it into good old go-go juice. It's very important.
It was pretty though, seeing the sparkly lights across the way of the refinery. They looked while the sun was setting. Sometimes human architecture can be pretty.
Like a little city, but like for
polluting.
Yeah, pollution.
Yeah. Yeah, so we just enjoyed the sunset and got to stay in an RV park, and we're stoked for our first full day. Gonna get some real professional photos on this hike.
They're bad.
Day one on the PNT, and we are already deciding to do things differently. So the official PNT goes that way, which basically goes around this island on one side of it, through like on a trail, as you can see. But I looked at the topo map, and there's another trail that bubbles out around the other side on the coast. And essentially the one that goes on the coast is longer. It's like a further distance than the official route here. And we just looked at the map and we looked down at the coastline and the water and how blue it is. And we thought, hell yeah, like that would be so much more fun. It would be so much more scenic. And that's just sort of what we feel like doing. Come on, Truman. And so that's what we're gonna do. And that's kind of my philosophy on this journey. That's the hiking philosophy that I've evolved to have over my 4 years and 9,000 miles of backpacking. And that is that every trail is unique. Every trail is an invitation to explore and to get curious and to have an adventure. This is the Pacific Northwest Trail, which is a national scenic trail. All of the national scenic trails that I've hiked have been, that system was devised and created for people to walk footpaths to explore the beautiful sights that this great country has to offer. We're so lucky to live here and to be able to exist freely on foot in the great outdoors and see the beautiful sights on the scenic trails. And that is how I intend to approach this journey, is with an open heart and accepting the invitations when the trail offers a different path, which you can see the ocean is that way, as opposed to a different one. We'll take the path less taken, even though it's longer, and we'll see what it has to offer us. had some really nice hiker, biker tent sites that we were able to stay in. There's a lake here. Last night we watched the sunset just on the Puget Sound. And today we're gonna be walking along the coast a bit and hopefully getting kind of close to Port Townsend, which the locals have told us is a really cute place. And we are super excited to go there, get some real food, maybe get some ice cream. It's only really been a couple days, but coming off of the Pacific Crest Trail for me, my body, you know, kind of got acclimated to eating real food for the first time in 5 months. And then now I've gone straight back to Cliff Bars and oatmeal, and my body is rebelling and telling me that I need to keep eating real food. So we are happy that we're starting this trip in a more developed part of the trail. Because if you know anything about the PNT, you know that it is notorious for just not being a trail at all. It's primarily a bushwhack for most of those 1,200 miles. But I'm on a road right now, so things are going great. It's a little off trail, so we hitched into town, and this is like a real place. We're heading to a coffee roaster, and the plan is to get real food, which is a luxury on trail, and some nice coffee, and we found a park right on the bay. And I'm pretty sure this is like a vacation town, so it should be really nice by the water. And we're just gonna hang out there and enjoy being alive, you know?
And being on vacation.
Exactly. So I think Jack is living his first hiker trash moment. He is kneeling.
Is this my Q&A?
Well, I think this is like a really beautiful, spontaneous moment. So we want to tell folks you are eating a pizza.
I am
in
trash.
The front of a Walgreens, which we know hikers love their pharmacies, in a random town in Washington. You're really doing it right, sweetie.
Pizza juice all over my face. So
Yeah.
I think I am doing it right.
This is your official first hiker trash moment. Yay!
This has been brought to you by Hiker Trash, sponsored
By Caesar's
Garbage
Pizza.
Yeah.